Well, if you're listening to the show, you know that we've all done stupid with money around here, Jade and I included. And sometimes it's fun to laugh about it. And the important thing is we don't make that mistake again. We grow, we move on.
That's right.
But there's this Yahoo article, Jade, that I thought was kind of hilarious, kind of sad. 17 things people spent big money on that they're kicking themselves over looking back. So I wanted to cover a few and get your takes.
Yes.
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. This one was an interesting one. Someone said a timeshare.
Oh, well, we already know about that. Okay, so this guy said, I went to the seminar for a 3-night stay at a beach resort, and they got me. They were phenomenal salesmen, but they lie out of their beeps. We spent thousands over years, only use the timeshare once. We hear that all the time, George. They only use it. Look, they almost got me one time in Las Vegas.
Dang.
I didn't know that's what it was, and I ended up on this bus getting ready to go to wherever the timeshare thing was. Yeah, and then when I tried to get off the bus, they would not let me off the bus, George. So I know how this guy feels.
I'm not getting in Jade's way. That's a bold move.
Yeah, I had to get medieval on him.
So yeah, this person goes on to say they paid a lawyer to get them out of the contract. Now they're free. These things are scams, and if you don't believe me, how terrible of an investment they are, which, by the way, you don't own anything, so not really invested in anything. Mm-hmm. You can find them on eBay for $1. Wow. People are desperately trying to get rid of them.
Well, he's fortunate that he was able to get out of his, because it ain't easy, let me tell you.
All right, here's another one. Someone said, I bought a mobile home as a starter home. No one ever explained to me as a young adult the importance of investment and future planning. Mobile homes, of course, do not hold nor increase in value, so you never build equity. It's akin to renting, except you have to cover all of your own repair costs, too. It's a terrible financial decision. Do not buy mobile homes, kids. Just don't do it. Good advice there.
Yeah, it's going down in value. Woo. Let's see. I see this one down here. This is about credit cards. George, you are my favorite topic. He says, I opened a credit card in college, bought something, I don't even remember what it was, and completely forgot about it. I never got a statement, and 3 years later, I suddenly have collections agencies calling me nonstop over a $20 debt with hundreds of collection fees. It took me years to get my credit back to not crappy levels.
Wow.
Been there.
And we did it all for the free t-shirt back in college.
Been there, done that.
On the college. How is it even legal to let these people on the college campus?
I don't know, dude. We've all done it.
Now, here's one I have never done. This is an interesting one. Someone said, I agreed to take over my ex-girlfriend's bills so that she could pay off her debts.
Oh, Lord.
5 years and over $100,000 of my money later, she was in more debt than when we started and cheating on me. Ooh. Don't ever do this. Just make her be an adult or dump her. It's never worth it. This needs to go on Maury or something.
Yeah. They need to be on
Goodness gracious,
Maury.
That is some drama.
Oh, that's terrible.
And ex-girlfriends, I can't think of one ex-girlfriend that I want to give $1, let alone cover all of her bills.
You know what? People will do anything. Love is blind.
I think when he was paying the bills, they were dating.
They were. I think you're right. I think they were dating, and then it came back to bite him in the butt.
Because she's cheating on him after he's given her 6 figures.
Yes, wine and dine your ladies, but do not pay their debts. Don't do it. Don't co-sign. Please.
Yikes. That was enabling right there. She took advantage of that homie.
Yeah, I don't dig that. Let me read this one. This one, she says, financing a car and then leasing a new one. So she financed the used car, leased a new one. Never again. I bought my current car in a new light condition and paid it in full with cash. I love having to deal with. I am with it. I love never having to deal with car payments. That's great.
Once you get fleeced, you ain't never going back.
Can I tell y'all a secret? Do you know that when I was dating Sam, this goes along with this dumb stuff. He bought my used car. We were engaged, but I had a car and he thought that I should have a better car. And he bought me a Jeep Liberty. Wow. And luckily, once we got married, we helped snowball it together. These are bad choices, people.
What a romantic Sam is.
I'm saying this to say, this is the dumb stuff we do.
Nothing says love like a financial transaction.
Like co-signing. Yeah, right.
This one got me. Someone said, lending my credit card to family. How few brain cells do you need to have to trust your family with a credit card? It's like giving a kid just Monopoly money to go spend.
George, I'm scared. Okay, we got to share our stupid ones.
All right, what's yours?
Okay, can I tell you guys, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done because it was just extra dumb. I went to college, George. I had a full presidential scholarship, which means Everything paid for. And I had a full volleyball athletic scholarship.
Wow.
My bills were paid for college. And do you know that the financial aid folks talked me into taking out student loans so that I could pay for just life? They said, Jade, you're going to need new clothes. You're going to want, after the games, you're going to want to go out to eat with your friends. And I took out student loans.
Are these people getting a kickback for this? This is insane.
$34,000. George, that's what I did.
Lived it up in college.
I don't remember it. I remember going to Walmart, spending $60 on groceries just like everybody else. I don't know what happened to the money.
That's nuts.
Beat that.
Well, I once shipped a pair of Air Force Ones on Craigslist to a guy in Nigeria because he said it was for his cousin.
No!
And this was not like a Nigerian prince thing. I listed my Air Force Ones for sale, a nice pair of shoes, and I got an email from a guy. It seemed legit. He was like, hey, I want to get this as a gift to my cousin. He lives in Nigeria. I'll pay you extra for shipping. I'll give you an extra $50. And I was like, sweet. And he was like, hey, I'll PayPal you right now. I got the email from PayPal.
What?
That showed the transaction. I went, great, I'm going to go ship these today. I went back a day later. The email from PayPal was not an email from PayPal.
Oh.
It was a forgery, and I clicked through the email address and saw that it was all a lie. The money never actually hit my PayPal account, and these shoes were gone in Nigeria.
So this is like a Nigerian homeboy.
Yes.
This is like a Nigerian cousin.
And I fell for it. Now, here's the crazy part. The shoes showed up 6 months later back at my door, and it said return to sender.
What?
So whoever was running this scam, it must have been a bad address, or I don't know.
I don't know. George, that's hilarious.
Couldn't
That's a
tell
crazy
you what happened
story.
to those Air Force Ones.
I love it.
Here's a crazy one, though, that we didn't hit. Someone said, not mine, but my dad's. He bought $500 worth of collectible Star Trek dinner plates in the 80s, thinking they'd be worth a ton of money in a few years. They're not.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel like someone
That's like
out
Beanie
there...
Babies.
Someone out there who's a big Star Trek fan with some money, they might be willing to buy that.
I might
Wouldn't
know
put it
some
past them.
people. I might know some people who's willing to buy it. Not me.
Wow. Well, here's the deal. We've all done stupid with money, and we want to hear your stories from our listeners. And so if you have a stupid tax story where you made a financial mistake, you had some regrets, and you're okay with us laughing about it, please email us at ask@ramseysolutions.com, and in the subject line, put stupid tax. Ask@ramseysolutions.com, subject line, stupid tax. We love to hear it, because I think, you know what it does? It creates some levity around money.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it more comfortable to admit our own mistakes. And everyone thinks they've done the stupidest thing with money, and then you read another story and you go, nope.
Yeah, George, everybody has done something stupid with money. It's the people who refuse to admit it that's still broke.
Ooh.
It's the people who refuse to, because if you can't admit it, that means you haven't learned from it.
And if you refuse to change,
that even better.
You do stupid over and over again, that's a choice.
Yeah, you got to start learning from these mistakes.
Ouch.
Whew.
So here's the good news. I stopped doing stupid when I saw through this broken system that was meant to keep me broke. I went through Financial Peace University. You did this as well. This was like 10 years ago now. And I became so much more aware of my money, how other people were trying to get my money, what I could be doing with my money. And it gave me such peace and confidence because I realized, I don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. I just have to do a budget and stay out of debt.
That's so true. It's the simple things, George. It's, I think money culture tries to make us think it's so complex and it's only for the wealthy and it's only for certain people. Yeah, then there's the dude bros. But it's those simple things, living on less than you make, getting on a budget. Can you believe it? Paying off your debt.
Who knew?
Easy can be hard, but it's simple.
You don't have to be smart to do smart stuff with money. And that's very encouraging for people like me.
There is a myth that the best way, the only way to be successful professionally and financially is if you have a college degree. Like it's a magic ticket to a better future. Well, I think more and more people are becoming aware that that's a myth, George. And so I wrote a blog for the mothership, RamseySolutions.com. It's entitled 25 High-Paying Jobs That Don't Require a 4-year degree. And so you and I, this is a reveal. It's kind of fun for us. We chose during the break some of our favorite jobs and why in this category.
Yeah.
So based on our last call, I thought I'd start with one of mine.
Okay, hit me.
And we had Ryan on the line, and she wants to, she's in the process of, is she going to decide to take a carpentry course to become a carpenter? Well, it just so happens that one of the 25 high-paying jobs that doesn't require a 4-year degree is carpenter. And the median salary, now let me explain this to some folks, because I've done social media posts, George, get crushed on TikTok because people don't pay attention.
They don't understand
how numbers
work.
I didn't say it's the income. I'm saying it's the median. And let's explain what median is, George. Tell folks at home.
Median means middle.
Middle. So if you take the high, not average, by the way, middle. So if you take the high across the country, all 50 states, and you take the low, this is the median, the middle of the range.
You learned this in third grade.
You learned this in third grade.
You didn't learn after that. So.
Well, but people don't care on social media. They just want to hammer you. So here we go. A
nice
carpenter.
pun there.
Thank you very much.
They just want to hammer you.
You know what? James is going to... I'm going to hear about that one later. That's perfect. I didn't even know I said that. Oh, boy.
Okay.
So what's the median salary for carpenter, folks? $49,500. Education needed, high school diploma, and some form of apprenticeship. So there you go. What do you got, George?
I have electrician, and this one hit close to
another
home.
trade.
I just had an electrician at the house.
Oh, yeah?
And then I got the bill, and I went, oh, boy. Okay.
Hey, he's doing well.
But I'm not messing with those wires.
No.
Okay, and median salary for electricians, $57,000.
Yeah.
Education needed, diploma, apprenticeship, and there's positive job growth in that area.
Okay, all right. Let's go a little more high-tech, George. What about a radiologic or MRI technologist?
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, this isn't going anywhere. This is healthcare, right? Like, you talk about stability, George. Also pays really well. Median salary, $63,710. What education do you need? Associate degree only. So, boy, that's budget friendly.
I like that one.
That's a 2-year community college. Let's go.
Without the tag from med school.
That's right.
Leaving the old bill there.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, this one's personal. This one's close to home. Executive assistant was number 11 on your list.
I know why.
Median salary, $63,000, and education needed, high school diploma. And this is close to home because my wife is an executive assistant here at Ramsey Solutions. And if you know Ramsey Solutions and you know the crowd here, we have a huge, huge team of assistants.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's executive assistants that serve our operating board members, our senior leaders. And my wife is one of those rock star executive assistants that serves someone on our operating board that reports to Dave. And she crushes it. And so I think that's a great, great option for folks out there beyond the old school mentality of a secretary. This is so much more. This is a partnership with leaders to help them accomplish what they want to accomplish.
They truly are the gatekeepers that make the world go round.
It's basically
That's my
they're
description.
COOs. That's how I like to see it.
All right, here's let's do a couple more real quick. Occupational therapy assistant. This is a median salary of $60,950. Only need an associate degree. And listen to this. If you're in the people business, you love taking care of others. You would call yourself a caretaker. Great job here. This is all about helping people learn and practice skills to live and work. Most of it takes place after someone has had some type of accident or elderly people who need help performing daily tasks around their homes. So a really people-centric job, good money.
Yeah. Let me hit you with one more. This is a big one. Web developer.
Oh, yeah.
Man, median salary, $77,000.
Yeah.
And education needed, an associate's degree. And even now, there's so many options out there,
Yeah.
affordable courses online, and companies are so hungry for web developers. I mean, we are hiring them like crazy right now here at Ramsey Solutions, and you don't need to go to the fancy name brand school to get the degree in computer engineering, software engineering, and there's some crazy growth in that area.
And by the way, that's the median salary. You're going to be in the six-figure range pretty quick if you are good.
If you're worth your salt.
Let me also tell you, if you have people skills as a developer, watch out. All right, one more. We got to give one that is associate's degree required only. And George, this is over 6 figures. High demand. Now it's high stress. So if you are a low pulse kind of person, you handle high stress pretty easily. Air traffic controller might be the gig for you. Airplanes aren't going anywhere. Median salary, George, you ready for this? $130,000. So there you go.
That's median.
Yeah, if you'd like to see the entire list, dive into it a little bit more to learn what it takes to win in those areas, you can search that blog up, RamseySolutions.com. 25 high-paying jobs that don't require a 4-year degree.
Well, in the twilight, as 2022 is coming to a close, Congress passed a massive spending bill, of course, because that's what you should do if you're in Congress. And but the good news is, as a part of that, they also passed what is appropriately called the Secure Act of 2022, 2.0. So what is the Secure Act 2.0? Well, it changes a bunch of things in your retirement and a couple of things in your student loans as well. And a good blog at RamseySolutions.com right now. Very good detail on this, unpacked. If you want to get in there and really look at it and plug around. I think we post those blogs on Facebook too, if I remember, James. And but George, I want to take a minute since that blog's out there, and you guys can go through it all and look at it in detail. But for those of you that don't make it over the blog, let's hit the highlights.
Yeah, there's a ton in here that really help a lot of people with their retirement. I mean, Secure Act stands for Setting Every Community Up for Retirement Enhancement. So kudos to the marketing team that got to create that little acronym there.
Yeah, well, good luck with that part. But anyway, it's good updates. It's some things that needed to happen.
Yeah, so it's starting with required minimum distributions. You'll hear these called RMDs. The age is rising to 73 instead of 72, which means you have an extra year without the government tapping you to get some of their cash.
Yeah, required minimum distributions are your 401k, your Roth, or your traditional IRAs. They require you to start taking money out at a minimum schedule so they can tax it. And it used to be 70 and a half, then it moved to 72, and with this it moves to 73. So you can leave your money alone and not touch it till 73 now. That's good.
Next one, no more required minimum distributions from Roth 401ks and Roth 403bs. So this one's interesting because you've already paid the taxes on it. So they're saying you've already paid the taxes, you can just have it.
It doesn't do anything to force you to start taking it out on RMDs. So we're going to let you just let it sit there and grow tax-free. You don't ever have to take it. Another reason to love a Roth.
That's great. Next up, smaller penalties for missed required minimum distributions. It was 50%. It's coming down to 25%.
Yeah, if you miss your RMDs. Yeah, simple.
That's good. Next, higher catch-up contributions on the way. So if you're 50 years or older, there's a lot of great ways you can step up your retirement. Put an extra $1,000 in your IRA, for example, an extra $5,000, extra $7,500 in your 401ks, and they're increasing that.
Yeah, 60 to 63, beginning in 25, in 2025, January 1, if you're age 60 to 63, you'll be able to put $10,000 annually into a workplace retirement plan, an additional $10,000. And so it allows you, if you're, quote, running behind, is it too late for me? This is for you, right?
Love it. All right, next up on the good news front, easier access to retirement funds for emergencies, or is it?
Not good news.
That's one of the downers of this plan here. We were doing so great, Dave. We were on a great roll.
Batting 1,000 until we got to stupid land here.
And so here's what this means. Starting in 2024, you can withdraw up to $1,000 from your retirement account for personal or family emergencies. If you've been listening to the show for more than 10 seconds, you'll know that you should never tap your retirement accounts for emergencies.
Yeah, you should have an emergency fund and leave your freaking retirement account alone and let it grow and make you rich.
Absolutely. All right.
Dumb.
Here's an interesting one. Curious to get your take on this, Dave. Employers must automatically enroll you into a workplace retirement plan.
This is nanny state stuff.
Holding your hand.
This is we're going to take care of you because you're too stupid to take care of yourself idea. And so now when you join a company that has a 401k, the company is required to sign you up for the 401k automatically.
At an automatic minimum contribution rate of 3%.
And if you don't want that to happen, you have to
opt out.
Manually go in and opt out. You have to stop it from occurring. That's too much control. It's got a good intent. Want everybody to have a retirement account. That's a good thing. Yes, you need to be in your 401k, but let's say you're working the baby steps, you would need to opt out because you're not doing 401k because you're on baby step 2.
Well, and the other problem is if you are in a place to invest, you've got 3%, you don't realize it. You need to up that to 15% if you're out of debt with a fully funded emergency fund.
Yeah.
So be sure you pay attention to that stuff.
Don't, we're from the government and we're here to help. These are scary words, okay?
A 3% rate is not going to get you very far in retirement. So we've got to do better for sure. Next, this has been one of some hot debate. Employers can match your student loan payments with retirement contributions.
It's confusing.
Yes.
Because it sounds like they're paying your student loans. Now, some employers are now offering a benefit that has nothing to do with this, just where they will help you pay your student loans off one way or another, whatever it is. They'll match you, they'll do whatever. It has nothing to do with anything as far as this stuff goes. This is not that. This is you pay up to $3,000 on your student loan, and your employer puts up to $3,000 into your 401k. which doesn't. It's just like,
wouldn't that incentivize you to never pay off your student loans?
like, we want you to eat apples, so we're going to chop oranges. It's just weird. You mix these things up, and people are getting confused about it already. They think it means the government's going to pay part of your student, or the employer's going to pay part of your student loan and match you on what you're putting on your student loan. They're not. They have to put it in the 401k. So it's weird.
Well, it's because
anything that gets more money against your student loan or causes you to do that, anything that gets more money into your retirement, I'm for all of that, but this is just convoluted and weird.
Well, wouldn't you be pissed if you already paid off your student loans or didn't have any, and Joe Schmo's next to you is getting an extra $3,000 in his 401k?
That's a benefit, though. That's your employer offering a benefit. The employer's not required to offer this benefit.
I'm curious to see how many employers do this.
Yeah, I don't think they'll. Well, you never know.
You never know out there. All right. Next up, you can roll over unused 529 plan funds to a Roth IRA.
Ding, ding. This one's good.
This one I love, because that's been a big point of objection. People go, well, Dave, what if my kid doesn't go to college? They don't use all the money. That money's just wasted.
Yeah, it's not.
Now you can roll it
after
over.
15 years, your kid rolls it into their Roth IRA, no penalties.
Up to the annual contribution.
So you put $150,000 into a 529. Kid uses 75 or 80,000 of it. Whatever's left in there sits there 15 years, growing tax-free in good mutual funds. And then they roll it into a Roth IRA, into good mutual funds, and it continues to grow tax-free. No penalties.
That one I'm a huge fan of.
I love this one.
This is a fun one, too. Roth options are now available for simple IRAs and SEP IRAs. So folks that are self-employed, business owners, this is cool.
I'm confused. I thought that was already there. I'm not sure they.
The Roth
I'm
SEP
not sure
and
they
Roth
didn't
Simple.
I'm not sure they didn't already have that, but I could be wrong. So it's good, though. Yeah, the simple IRA is simply a 401k for small business. And the SEP IRA is the simple incentive match plan for it's best used by a solopreneur, because if you have employees, you have to put the same amount in
you gotta
that you put in for yourself. So we seldom use SEP IRAs much, but simple IRAs are great for small businesses to open up, and now they can do a Roth.
That's good news. And lastly, new emergency savings account option alongside retirement accounts. So this one's a little different than the previous one, but it's saying that the employer can set aside up to $2,500 annually for non-highly compensated employees in a separate emergency savings alongside their retirement account. Yeah. So it's a little sidecar here.
Yeah,
but is it invested?
The problem is $2,500 is not enough for an emergency fund, and so then you've got the $1,000 you can take out of your 401k for your emergency, and you've got it all over at the employer. And so people get the idea, oh, my emergency fund's taken care of. It's not. There's not enough money. There's very few of you that 3 to 6 months of expenses represents $2,500. So this is one of those head fakes that the government's saying, hey, look, we did something, and they didn't want to do anything because it's not sufficient to cover it. Now, if they could do up to $10,000 in there or something, that might cover some people's the emergency
not
fund.
Enough to do any damage here.
I wouldn't use this instead of your emergency fund, and I wouldn't use the option to cash money out of your 401k for emergencies either as your emergency fund. I wouldn't do either one. I'd leave all of that alone.
Well, credit where credit's due. There's a lot of wins in here, and you guys can check out the entire article. We've got it linked in the show notes, wherever you're listening, of course, at RamseySolutions.com. But I needed a win today. I'm going to call this a win.
I'm going to call it a win. We pick on, and we can even allow President Joe Biden to call it a win. He signed it.
I'm sure he's already tweeted it.
He signed it, and so he gets a win on that. Way to go, President Biden.
You don't hear that often from Dave.
Not at often at all. Can't shoot down a balloon, but you can sign this. This is The Ramsey Show. Peter is with us in Houston. Hi, Peter. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I have a 28-year-old daughter who I just recently moved back into the house. She had a fairly decent job as a restaurant manager for about 6 years, making about $70,000 a year. But she didn't put money away. She spent money like crazy. She didn't prepare for any eventualities, and now she's been laid off. And she's moved back home because she couldn't afford to pay her rent. And she also, I found out, has about $26,000 on 3 separate credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I've listened to your show in the past, and I believe you've said do not use the debt consolidation companies.
Mm-hmm.
So I could take care of. I mean, I have a good job, and I could take care of the debt for her, but I don't just want to do that.
No. So is she working now?
She's back as a waitress at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
She is working.
Good.
Yes.
What's she making?
It's approximately about every 2 weeks, about $1,200.
Not working much.
Well, what I wanted to do right now, I got her to come back in the house. She was very close to finishing her school degree. I've already got a student loan. I'm taking care of her for that. So she's going to go back and finish the school. And I told her I didn't want her working too much. I just wanted her to concentrate on the school, but I'm just wondering about this credit card debt, with the best way to go about it.
Best way to go about it is make money and pay it off. That's why I was asking about the job. So how many hours is she working?
She works 4 days a week.
Yeah, but 4 hours a day.
No, some days, yes, 4 days, but she does do double shifts on 3 of those days on the weekends.
It's a low-end restaurant then, because her tips are lousy.
Yeah, it's a Carrabba's.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what you did when you were in college, but I worked 40 to 60 hours a week and got through in 4 years. And this kid has a problem. I mean, she's got a $26,000 problem. The good news is she's got no overhead, so everything she makes can go towards the debt. $2,000 a month would clear the debt in 1 year, a little over 1 year.
She's already behind on one card and getting behind on the other two.
Yeah, why? Because she's not making enough money. Yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah, $1,200, though, ought to at least maintain the cards. She's still spending money, isn't she?
Well, not currently, because she has nothing to spend now.
Well, I mean, where's the $1,200 going?
Well, this all just happened, so she had to catch up on her rent where she was living, so her last check went there.
Okay, all right. So she's just getting squared around then. All right, good. So she's not behind because of the situation going forward. She's behind because of the past. So she can get current. Right. But here's the thing. Let's just do simple math. 26,000 divided by 2 is 13 months. I want to work enough to make $2,000 a month. And you're covering her room and board, and you're covering her school.
Yes.
And she can work enough to do that and get through school. She has 2 years left?
No, she has less than a year to finish the school.
Oh, great. Great. So she could get her degree and be debt-free at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what she should do.
So you don't recommend just letting the cards die and then try to negotiate with them?
No, I recommend she pays them off. Dad, your daughter's 28. She made $70,000 a year. She pissed it all away. She needs to work her butt off and clean this mess up. That's the best gift you can give her, Dad.
Okay.
Let the chips fall, my man. Don't rescue her. You're helping her. You gave her a safety net. Don't give her a hammock. Let her clean it up, man. You got the stuff. You love your daughter, and daddies and daughters. I got 2 daughters too. I get it. I know how it is. But dude, let this girl grow a backbone in this process. This is her time. This is her moment. Her defining moment in her millennial years. And she can do this. Put it on her. Let her feel the weight of it. It's good for her. It's good for her. It was good for you. It was good for me. It will give her confidence going forward. It'll be good. It's a good thing. You're a good man, Peter. You love your daughter well. Let her feel the pain. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
That happened to me once on the air. Sorry.
What was it?
This girl called, and finally Dave goes, "Okay, Sarah, where did you get all these numbers?" And it just goes silent. She goes, "Out of my butt."
The dumbest thing I've ever done with money is I let a friend talk me into a multi-level marketing purifying water thing that I never sold, and honestly was so stupid.
You know how many mowers I got? 4. I got 4 mowers.
The dumbest thing I've ever done with money, I kept paying for a gym membership for 3 years because I told myself I'd go soon, and I never did.
I've got 3 deep freezers. I've got a problem. Okay, I got a problem.
The dumbest thing I ever did with money was to go deeply in debt buying a bunch of real estate in my 20s, which caused me to go bankrupt because I was dumb.
I once shipped a pair of shoes on Craigslist to Nigeria for a guy's cousin, and it was a scam.
It's honestly probably when I buy like expensive designer stuff.
And then my wife's like, wow, we have 2 deep freezers. Why do we have a 3rd? And I'm like, here's what I think. I think what's about to happen is zombies.
There's a lot of calls that are on a spectrum from hilarious to heartbreaking to strange. And Dave, you've had the brunt of this, having taken over almost 100,000 calls based on some rough napkin math we did.
Wow.
I know it's hard to pinpoint some of the weirdest or funniest moments, but are there any that are burned into your memory that have become a core memory for you?
I can't help myself. I got a greatest hit request.
Okay,
because he's walking us right to it. You got to tell about the call of the guy who had the brilliant idea for the telephone booth.
Oh, God.
Because I feel like this is a perfect
It
example.
represents the strange.
I've completely melted down on the air in laughter to the point I couldn't recover 2 times in 30 years. I could not get it back. You know, where you just get that laugh and you're just like,
It won't stop.
like 13-year-old girls
It's
at the
the
lunch
church
table,
giggle. You
and
can't
just
stop.
Church giggle. Yeah, you can't stop. You can't breathe. You can't. And the more you try to get back, you can't get back. And so, yeah, this guy calls in the second segment of the show, and this is a long time ago because there were pay phones. For those of you who don't know, there were these phones we used to put dimes into, and then later quarters, and you could make a phone call that way. And this guy calls up and says, I figured out how I can get free phone service in my house. And I said, okay, how are you going to do that? And he says, I'm going to put a pay phone in the house. And I'm like, well, somebody's got to have the quarters to put in. He goes, well, I'll furnish the first set of quarters, because when they put the quarters in, then I'll take them out and give them back to them, and they can put them in again, and so I'll get free phone.
That sounds like Congress.
And I'm like, dude, you have to pay for the connection.
You have to pay for the
phone line. And he goes, huh? And I said, when you put a payphone in your house, if it's not connected with a phone line, and I just started losing it because you just bought a phone line that you were trying to not buy, and it's just, and this guy's dumber than a rock, and I just
thought he beat the system,
and I just started, I just completely melted down, and I mean, and you can hear it in the audio. It's just, and finally, Blake just. He was producer. He just took it to commercial because I couldn't get it back. We went to commercial early, screwed up the whole network. The affiliates were going bonkers. They didn't know what to do. But he just started playing commercials because I was not coming back.
I was thinking of the advisability of putting in a payphone instead of my regular phone service, because for $800 you can get a payphone.
Joe, that you have to pay for the phone line still.
And a payphone?
Yeah,
too?
if you don't hook the phone line to the phone, you're not going to have a dial tone.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to find out, if there was a hole in this.
It's what's called an air gap.
That happened to me once on the air that I couldn't recover, and I had to look down, and I was just silent the rest of the segment. If I looked up, I would have just started.
What was it?
It was on the air with you, and this girl called, and she was like, "Yeah," and I cannot remember who she was or the numbers or anything, or even the story. I don't even remember the story, but it was basically like, I have $30,000 in debt, and I can do this thing where I sell this thing, and I'm going to make $120,000, but I just need to invest $100 into this idea, and I'm going to make all this money, and we're all like, okay, so this, and Dave's asking her a few, clarifying questions, and finally Dave goes, "Okay, Sarah, where did you get all these numbers?" And it just goes silent. She goes, "Out of my butt."
Out of my butt.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. And then when the people in the booth, when the producers was with everyone. They're all laughing.
Oh, yeah.
And he's laughing.
And they
I'm
all
like,
lose it.
and I'm like,
hard
I
to
can't. And I was like,
recover.
and I just,
It's
it's
hard to
funny
stay
for 10
with it.
seconds, but then if you get the laughs and you can't recover, then you're laughing at the fact I'm laughing, and then you're
Right,
done.
yeah.
And I was done.
Well, and the booth guys got to where they would just drop below the
So they
where
wouldn't
they're
show
sit
their
on the floor and laugh because they knew if I was looking at them laughing, it was going to make me start to lose it, and I couldn't.
Oh my goodness!
But I've been able to get through all of them. How much are you going to charge?
I was thinking probably like 100 to 200 per room.
Where'd you get that number?
Out of my butt.
Well, probably ought to do some more research than that. Oh, Lord of mercy. I'm losing it. We used to do a stupid tax hour, and people would call in. If you'd done something stupid with money, you lost some money, we called it stupid tax, and still do. And the stupid tax stories were hilarious. I mean, a guy calls up and he goes, I said, what'd you do that was stupid? He goes, I bought a monkey. Okay. You bought a monkey? He goes, yeah, a spotted-nosed guinean. And I'm like, that's a thing? A monkey's called this? He goes, yeah, it's a big monkey. And he goes, yeah. And I said, okay. So he said, I thought it would be a cool pet. And it was kind of a cool pet. And then I started dating this girl, and I got engaged to her, and the monkey was jealous
Oh, boy.
of my fiance. And it would hit her. Oh, my God. And it would poop and throw its poop at her.
Oh my God.
And he goes, and so I ended up, he said, I paid $2,500 for the monkey. And he goes, I ended up having to give the monkey away. I said, you gave away the spotted-nosed guinean? And he's like, yeah. It was just mean. It was just mean. It's jealous and mean and hateful, and I had to give it away. Nobody would buy it.
I bought a monkey.
You didn't.
I did. A spotted-nosed guinean. It was
a spotted-nosed guinean.
Yes, it's a type of monkey. It was a beautiful monkey.
Sounds like a girl I went out with in high school.
Every time I try to kiss or hug on my wife, that monkey would try to punch my wife with its little fist. And bottom line is my wife, she just didn't care for that too much.
Y'all should bring that segment back.
Yeah, we ought to do
Stupid tax. That's
It'd be a great where are they now? 'Cause I'd like to know where the monkey
Yeah, where's the monkey?
And the worst one was the guy that called on the stupid tax hour. This was the worst of all. He goes, yeah, I spent $7,000 on my wife to get breast implants.
Oh my God.
And he goes, I come home a week after she's home from the hospital, and I found her in bed with my boss. And I drug him out in the front yard and beat him up, and the cops came and arrested me. He said, so I put the operation on a credit card. He goes, so I got $7,000 in debt. I got to go to jail. I got fired. I'm getting a divorce, and I never even touched those things.
Oh.
We just about lost it on that one.
It's like an episode of
we're in the
Cops.
floor.
Gary Springer.
Yes.
Yeah, this could happen on the air. You got to be ready. It's live radio.
Oh,
Man.
Well, for every funny call, there's also some emotional, heartbreaking, some intense calls where, you're in the middle of a really messy situation. Any stick out to you guys? You're like, this one I still think about.
Mine was the time I wasn't on the air. There's that bathroom in the dressing room behind the recording studio, and I just walked by to use the restroom, and I waved into the control booth to say hi to everybody. And Kelly, who was the call screener and associate producer at the time, she had, like in the crisis world, we call them crazy eyes. When somebody, you can look across the room and know there's something bad's going on. And she waved me in, and that's when I walked into a call y'all were a part of that ended up going for quite a while. But there was a moment when I'll call on the phone with that woman. I thought I was going to hear her. I thought I was going to hear her get killed. She was just in a real abusive situation in that moment.
And
yeah,
it was
her
happening
had a
live.
boyfriend that was beating the snot out of her, and she's calling us, and he walks in while she's talking
And
to
she's
us.
asking about selling her house. She said, I need to move.
Yeah, can I move to get away from him?
Can
And
I
I'm like,
sell?
no, you need to leave right now. Like, and she said, now. I said, now, right this second, go get your baby, get in the car, and drive away. Do you have family in the area? You've got to get away from this. And he walks in and grabs the baby and starts holding the baby and threatening her. She ends up sitting in the car
because he puts the baby in the floorboard. He's going to drive away, and she dives in the back seat of that car and said,
And she's sitting in there with him, and John's on the phone trying to talk this guy down while we got the police on the way.
Yeah.
And the cops roll up on Bubba, and so Bubba got...
Which was very intuitive of you, though, because I remember, because I was on the air with you on that one, and she called, and she's kind of out of breath even, and she's like, okay, I just need to know, can I sell my house? Can I... And it was this, like, urgency in her voice, and I think you were the one that were like, okay,
Are you safe right now?
Why are you wanting to sell your house? And she was like, well, I'm not in a good situation. I'm just not in a good situation. And you were like, where is he? Is he near you? Right. I mean, and you picked it up. And I kind of was a little bit more oblivious. You zoned right in on it. And man, and it was like literally going on the air of him there. And she's like, he's just walked out. I mean, it was scary.
In all fairness, Kelly said before we picked up the call, she said, there's something going on here. You need to figure it out. She didn't know what it was. She said, something's up. And so I was digging based on her input. It wasn't just pure intuition. So are you going to sit there in the middle of this sewage, or are you going to fix it?
I want to fix it. That's why I want to sell my home, and I just want to be done with everything.
Honey, we don't need to call a realtor. We need to get the boyfriend out of the house, and that's going to involve the police and or your father and your brothers. He needs to leave. It's your house. And you're afraid. You understand that this is wrong, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is you're not the crazy one. I'm talking to the sane one.
You know, a lot of times it feels like that.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put you on hold, and Kelly is going to make sure that law enforcement gets over there, okay?
No, sir, please.
No, baby doll. I'm not going to be... I'm not... Listen, I love you and that baby. And we're not, do what?
Just needed to know if I should sell my house or not. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, honey. You're in a...
Mr. Ramsey, I'm sorry. I trust you.
Listen, easy, breathe. You're in a horrible situation, and you have to make the moves to get away from it. But you don't have a financial problem. You need a boyfriend-ectomy.
Yeah, I've been needing that.
And it's happening today, darling. It's happening today.
Dave, there is a level of discernment and intuition you have. I remember listening before I worked here, This American Life did a feature on you, and they were actually digging into how you can hear things in the caller's voice and call things out that the average listener would have no idea. And you go, is he hitting you? And they're talking about some random money question, and they're shocked because you're right. How does that happen?
Well, I mean, it's an intimate medium, and where you're just we don't have a visual, you don't have body language. All you've got is the voice, and the cadence in the voice. It's in a sense, it's like someone who's lost their sight, because all you're using is one of your senses. Your hearing, and so you're dialed in, and if you just stay focused on what's going on, you can hear it. I mean, I've heard all of you pick up on, you can tell when somebody's lying in that setting, more than you can in person, I think. Because they'll give you the body language cues and that kind of thing, but their verbal's off. And you can, in person, they can lie to you easier. But in this, you'll hear them, you go, okay, so what's going on there? And is this what's happening? And you waited too long to answer.
Yeah.
You're having to make up a lie. You waited too long to answer. And in that case, on that piece of video or audio, again, I actually had data that I had dealt with on one of the shows I was doing in New York with one of the talk shows with the psychologist on the thing. And she worked in a domestic violence shelter when she wasn't working on the show as a psychologist, as a counselor. And she said, she showed me the data. She said there's a high correlation between a man who is extremely overbearing and over-controlling on the money with him hitting her. So like, she can't go to the grocery store without him going with her. She can't buy a stick of gum without him. He controls everything 1,000%. And if it's like the more extreme that is, the higher the probability that there's domestic violence. And so this lady's like, my boyfriend won't let me go to the grocery store by myself. He wants to control all the money. And I'm like, so how long has he been hitting you? It's like, for her, she's like, where'd that come from? Well, I had that piece of data. But you could also hear her voice, that she was, the way she's, the stress. You could feel it in her octave, in her vocal cords coming out. And so we just, you just go. And the poor little person doing the interview that was in the studio for that other show, we came off the air and she goes, how'd you know that? I'm like, I'm magic.
Well, aside from all the funny and emotional, there's been a cornerstone of the show for almost as long as we've been on air, which is the debt-free scream. And, about once an hour, we celebrate someone who's paid off any amount of debt, who went all in following the baby steps, following our plan. Are there any debt-free screams that stand out to you guys? It's one of my favorite parts of the show, because you just have a smile plastered on your face as you look across the glass and see those people who traveled from all over the country or called in to share their story.
I think about probably the heaviest and most painful but beautiful debt-free scream. It was years ago in our old building, and it was a sweet mom, single mom, and she's up there telling her story. And she just laid out the story of how her husband died, and it's to this day, I think it remains one of the most powerful calls. But it was one of those where normally those debt-free screams are moments of great celebration, and it was. But as she walked through the pain of what she went through and how much it meant to her and how much her husband had been on the journey, and see those little kids with her. So now you got a single mom who, it was heart-wrenching, the loss that she went through. And you look at those kids and they lost their daddy, and then you kind of like, that's colliding with the fact that she's there heartbroken, but also celebrating and grateful for her husband and his role. And it's those crazy moments where it's so heavy. It's like the funeral that everybody's sad, but everybody's happy. It's like, hey, we know where they are and it's going to be okay. But it was that was probably the most heavy thing. And I was just hosting the video channel back then, and I was standing in the lobby watching Dave do that one. And there wasn't a dry eye in the studio, the control room, the lobby. And those are powerful moments when you realize what this is all about.
And in 2 years, you paid off your house.
Yes, sir. That was our dream. It was our dream, Dennis's and mine, to make this happen. And God is really good.
All right, kids, you guys been practicing the debt-free scream too? Yes, all right. Well, this is about the best one I've had in a while, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, sir.
So, all right, Cynthia, count it down.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Oh. Man, oh man. Thank you, Lord, for work that matters.
The one that I remember, just off the top of my head, there's been so many great ones, was Dave, I think it was you and I that was doing it, and you always ask the question, how'd you get started on this? And that husband was a veteran, and he said, I just kind of got to the point where I need to make sure my family was taken care of because I was going to take my life. I decided I'm done, and so I need to make sure everybody's good. And as a part of, I need to clear the deck for my family. It's the right thing to do before I take my life. And one of the things that you were so instrumental in putting in the baby steps long ago is you can't do this by yourself. You got to sit down with somebody. And so as he sat down with his wife, ultimately it came out, and then they started the journey to get his health taken care of and get his mental health taken care of. They ended up with a new job. Just the breadth of change that happened in this family. But it started with a guy sitting down with his wife saying, I'm not doing okay. And so I think you and I, we've talked offline, Dave, you couldn't have dreamed up a better program for somebody struggling with significant depression, because I'm going to give you a tiny little goal. Meet this $1,000. Just do whatever you got to do to meet this, and then we're going to meet another goal and a little goal. That's the path out of so many mental health challenges, relational challenges, and the money challenges. And you end up trying to get out of debt, and you end up fixing your marriage and saving a life. You end up doing all this other stuff that just changes everything about everything. Changes everything about everything.
So what happened lit you on fire, man? Y'all went off like fireworks.
Honestly, it's a pretty wild story. I was actually debating on whether I should commit suicide or not. And I wanted my family to be secure when I was gone. And then just listening to your show and hearing the Bible verses every day, I came home and talked to Tori and decided we should probably get into a church. We found River Valley up in the Twin Cities and gave our life to Jesus Christ, got baptized October 31st, which is kind of a joke and a half because our favorite holiday was Halloween for a long time. And just changed our life ever since.
Yep.
Amazing. Wow. So was the financial pressure part of that or just other mental issues?
I'm a disabled veteran, so I deal with PTSD and some traumatic brain injury from some of that. So
Wow.
What's your healing journey been like?
It's been a process. I got into a big good group of guys at church, some men's leadership courses, starting counseling with the VA coming up on August 1st. So
very good.
Congrats, man.
Very good.
It's awesome.
And another one that sticks out to me is in the old building, the Ganad family came to announce they paid off their house. And so we were celebrating them, and they had their kids with them. And I was hosting the video channel at the time.
They're grown kids.
They're grown kids about my age. And this is a Middle Eastern family. I grew up, my parents are Middle Eastern, and so there was already a connection there. And they said, hey, Dave, before we do our debt-free scream, we wanted our kids to be involved. We didn't want to do this without them. So we wanted to surprise them today and let them know that we've paid off both of their houses.
Oh my God.
And I mean, we were all just crying in happy tears. It was just such a shock. And that was one of the most special moments because it made me go, that's the kind of legacy I want to leave. That's the kind of dad I want to be.
And how old are the kids now?
They're
not kids, they're adults.
Yeah, 29 and 30.
Okay. All right.
And they're well established in this methodology. And in fact, if I could, I just want to share something. They're also debt-free with the exception of their mortgage. There is, we don't have any secrets. They've been right there with us. But there's one thing that we've kept from them, and I'd like to...
You kept something from them?
Yes, yeah, it was a little secret, and we thought, let's just keep it to ourselves.
What kind of secret are you going to do right here on the radio?
And the secret is, just because they're here and they're going to scream debt-free with us, we would like them to know that their mortgages are paid off.
Unbelievable!
Yes.
Wow!
Wow! We're really clear that the best thing that we can leave to our kids is the wisdom to know how to handle their lives. And
you guys are changing your family tree big time.
One of the interesting things being new on the show is that having watched debt-free screams for years and then being on the show, it's just, they never get old. Like you would think as a host, you might just be watching it being like another person is on there, but it's like we stop on the breaks and go, wow, that's so good. Like it feels, I've caught myself like tearing up on the breaks and being like, that is amazing. And I think it's cool here at Ramsey, we have fans of your fans. And it's like, we are such fans of the people and everybody has such a unique story that it still hits us every time.
Well, with all of the drama that's created by the callers, some of it is created by us. Some of the controversy.
George,
and,
what?
I got
not
to,
true.
I got to be a part of that the other day, Ken, and it was really special. Rachel and I were on the air, and we had Katie calling from Kentucky. I remember all the details.
Katie from Kentucky.
Murray, Kentucky.
Okay.
Oh,
And,
this is my memory is seared now.
Yes.
He said one of the stupidest things.
George dug himself.
It has a name now. It's called Horsegate. And so we've officially named it. And we're on the call with her, and she's going, hey, my side hustle was horseback riding. My horse is injured. I need ideas for side hustles. So we're giving her some ideas. Hey, I'm Googling, there's a local Walmart in your area. You can go make some good money there. You can dogs it. Well, it's a real rural area. It felt like she was just on the justification train and had left the station. So we're getting to the end of the call. She makes $34,000 a year. We find out she's $120,000 in debt. And so at the end, we're coming up to the break, and I go, Katie, I'm going to challenge you. Could you sell the horse? And she then go, well, I've had it for 11 years. And I went, Katie, the horse doesn't even know your name. And Rachel's look.
To her.
She was just in horror and shock.
It's like the most intuitive animal you could ever own. Well, but I think technically George is correct. The horse doesn't know her.
On a
I just want to stand up for
I
George
know.
at
But it's
that
like,
level.
she's like, no, this horse,
You act like you call the horse a bad name.
all this. And George's like, oh, Katie doesn't even know your name. Go to Bray. I was like, oh my gosh.
Here's the thing. I have a soul. I've got two dogs. Everyone's coming at me going, would you sell your dogs? And I go, my dogs don't need a farm. My dog isn't worth $20,000.
Your dog is not injured.
My
and there's
dog's not
vet
injured.
bills.
And you're not $120,000 in debt.
I know. We all knew.
What I was seeing was,
I agree with you,
cared about her
George.
future, and I went, she's never going to get out of debt at this rate if she doesn't change her income.
Sell the horse.
Yes.
She's stuck because of the horse.
I know.
And so we came back from the break. I tried to couch it all. It was not working.
And then you said, I wonder how much the horse would go for, and you're like, I looked it up, I can't remember.
She
11,000.
emailed us.
Yeah. And he was like,
She said,
it's
the horse is
worth more
$20,000.
And then he said, Katie, the horse is worth more than you. I was like, you literally
I
can't
kept
say
digging
this.
the horse grave, and I was about to fall into it.
You fell in. Now I got to back off. A horse is not worth more than a person, George. You
I agree. I said net worth, Rachel.
Net
not
worth-wise,
human worth.
because, Katie, you're negative 120.
There's been some regrets in how we say things on air that then are plastered on YouTube forever that you
Terrible.
can't change. And so there are some regrets.
And she emailed even that weekend with pictures of her and this
Her prize-winning horse.
So we even wrapped it
But
back.
I've mentioned, I said this to John yesterday, I said, I care about her future more than her feelings. But I could have cared about her feelings too. Yeah. In hindsight.
I know, and horse people are very passionate people, and you and after the horse community.
Passionate is a very kind word.
Yes.
I
You've
love
been
that.
trolled for days.
Yes. So there's now a YouTube channel called George Camel's Horse, and I comment on all of our videos just saying, hey, why? Hey. It's great. It's great. Katie, I'm going to give you a hard challenge. Could you sell the horse? Would you do it?
I can't.
Why not?
I've had this horse 11 years, and I've rodeoed
Katie. There's other horses out there. It doesn't even know your name. There's more horses for you on the other side.
George.
Listen, I want Katie to win.
Oh my gosh.
She's got a mess to clean up. I'm doing whatever it takes. I'll get another horse later. This is The Ramsey Show.
The student loan crisis is out of control. I mean, $1.75 trillion in student loan debt. It's just crazy that at this point it is still such an issue.
Oh, the government can just tell us we all can't go to work, right? Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
I mean, you look at social media, you look at TikTok, I mean, all these places that now anyone can have a platform and a voice. And I think that's what's unique about Ramsey is that we're the ones usually tapping the brakes, being like, let's just wait and see how this plays out.
I have said, if you follow the trends, you fall for the traps. And that's what we're seeing with these younger generations because there's super targeted marketing that's going, hey, dude, all you need is $10. You're going to get $10,000 next week, I promise.
Or how about Jason Bourne telling you, fortune favors the brave.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I'm familiar with the baby steps. I try to be a good steward of them, but I seem to continuously sabotage myself. So I just need to know how can I be more diligent in, I guess, following them.
How do you sabotage yourself?
I make that budget. I am on it every day, checking, making sure I'm tracking my expenses, and then one of the family members that I have a need, or I personally will be like, well, I guess I can go out of town and go and do that. And so then I have to recalculate everything. And then I push my...
So you're getting stuck on the meticulous numbers, and one thing throws a wrench in the plans, and you go, oh my gosh, I failed again.
Oh, no, I think it's deeper than that. I think the budget's like a toy. It's like something, it's just something for you to fiddle with. It's almost like a fidget spinner. But your real identity is, if any family member calls for any reason, I'm the hero and I'll save that. Or I'm only going to live once, and so I'm just going to go do whatever I want to do. I'm going to take care of right now me and forget about next year Marine.
I guess well, if the family calls and they need something, I'm going to cut from my budget line that I have assigned for me. I mean, mind you, it's like minimal for my personal expenses for the month. But
why are you putting your oxygen mask on them before you? You're not in a place to be giving right now.
When you say family, are these your children? Is this a spouse? Who's calling you up going, hey, we need to spend this?
Yeah, adult children.
Ah, how old are we talking?
30.
Oh boy.
Maureen.
I can count on
Why?
0 fingers how many times I have called my parents for money since I was, 20 years old. So this seems to be, there's a systemic problem where they go, well, mom is going to be sweet and send us some money because we're struggling. What do they need at 30 that something they can't provide for themselves?
Well, I'm providing quite a bit for them already.
Why?
That they live with
Wait,
me.
why? Maureen, what do you feel guilty about?
That it just seems difficult for them to make that step into independence.
It does because their mom won't let them go.
I wouldn't leave either. This sounds like a brilliant plan. I get to live at home for free. Mom pays for all my expenses.
And then when I run out of money, I call mom, and she cuts herself off at the knees to keep my restaurant budget going.
Okay. Well, I have made some steps.
Listen, she's like, all right, I'm done with you two.
Yeah, you need some problems. Yeah, you need some problems is what I've heard and listened to. And so I implemented okay, you've got to pay me rent. And so apartment 1, you give me $300, and apartment 2, you give me $750 is what I tell them. And it doesn't come with any concierge services. So I'm trying to implement those steps.
How old are you, Maureen?
I'm 48.
What are your financial goals?
To be debt free.
So you
and
still
to pay
have
off my
debt?
mortgage as soon as possible.
Okay. So you have consumer
I
debt?
I have $15,000. I have $15,000 in debt, yes, and I have $187,000 on my mortgage.
Okay.
Hold on. I just got... Sorry, George. No concierge service? As though you'll show them.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But I'm going to check the mail for them. I'm not going to go run and grab food for them on my way home.
How would that even be in your mind that you had to say that out loud? They're 30.
Because that's what they asked for.
I think we need a hard boundary conversation to say, listen, I love you guys, and I have loved you too hard, and I have stunted your growth, and that part is on me. But there's a part that's your responsibility, and that is going to live your freaking life. So you have 6 months to get a plan and get out of this house and find an apartment. And if you need 7 roommates and a third job, I'm just saying we need a game plan to get out.
Maureen, have you ever gone to a gym and worked out?
Yes, I hate it.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Here's what you're doing for your kids. They're going to the gym, and they're looking at you saying, Mom, I've got to get stronger. I've got to. I can't live my life like this. I got to get stronger. And you said, okay, I'll go with you. And you walk into the gym, and when they lay down on the bench to lift some weights, you run over there and take all the weight off the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And they push the bar up with no weight on it, and they're now 30, and they're wondering why they can't navigate the world. They're not strong enough. And it's because you keep using them to make yourself feel like you're being a good mom. And that's not their job. Why do you feel this need to keep... There's got to be some guilt you're trying to wipe... I mean, I don't know. What are you trying to solve or accomplish by giving 30-year-olds this much support and care? Do they have special needs? Or they just don't want to work? Or what's the deal?
No. Yeah, they're working. He just finished school, and he took a pause for a bit, and then his fiance is finishing going back to school, and I told them a few months back when I gave them their rent notice that they were going to have to start paying rent that, let's revisit this in June, because if it's working until June, and then, then we'll see where we go from there. But if it's not working, then...
How far below is $300? How far below is that market rent?
Oh, gosh. I mean, that's nothing.
Exactly.
And that's for the youngest one who will pay me whatever I want. And this is the thing. I tell them, I don't need your money. I just need you to do your thing.
But they need your money.
They need your money.
Focus on me. Yeah.
So my word, there's a lot of problems here. Number one is that you haven't put your own mask on first. You're going to remain broke while sacrificing for your kids that can't start their adult life. So that's problem number one. And the other problem here is that their growth will continue to be stunted as long as they still have this sweet scenario. And so your job is not to be cruel, But to be honest on both sides and say, I haven't done a great job of doing this. You guys need to step it up. I'm going to give you 3 months to find a place to live, and I will help you leave gracefully. You don't need to kick them out on the street and evict them, but this is a problem that's gone on far too long. I literally thought you were calling to be like, my 8-year-old needs saxophone reeds for band.
Yeah,
this is a 30-year-old grown adult.
Or a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Or someone about to be
Yeah,
married.
My youngest is married, and this is where I say I self-sabotage myself, right? I have my plan. My youngest is married, and I said, well, instead of you guys, carrying that burden of finishing nursing school one semester, why don't you just stay here for a year, and then after that, then go ahead and get your own place. And they're looking to buy, but that's going to take them at least another 6 months.
They need to rent.
They've been saving.
They can go sign a 6-month lease.
Tell them this.
And get used to paying their own bills.
I want to be your mom and not your landlord. I want to be your mom and not your bank. And I can't do both. And if they choose, well, we wanted you to be our bank, then y'all need to have that conversation. But I
can I ask a hard question, Maureen? What happened to Dad?
Sure. Oh, that's a whole other call.
But I think a lot of this stems from the fact.
Yeah, no, he's there. He's here, but
is he?
I don't.
Because it sounds like you've taken on the brunt of all of this, and maybe part of it is because of what's happening with Dad, and you feel like you need to be the savior and hold this family together.
Well, no, he's here. We're married. I just financially don't do anything with him. I do nothing financially with him.
That seems to be part of this problem.
Align.
I would start there.
Align. Yeah.
And I wonder if you're trying to buy a continued relationship with your kids. And you want to ask about why you can't keep a budget? Because you got a lot of stuff going on.
The budget's not the problem, Maureen. We have to have a lot of hard conversations really soon.
Create your free $Every budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the $Every app. Start budgeting for free today.
I have 2 in-laws who I love dearly. They are both in their mid to early 80s. My father-in-law, about a year and a half ago, was diagnosed with cancer and a multitude of other things. He's in very ill health. My mother-in-law is in fantastic health. And the situation is this. They have been married for 60 years. They both had very well-paying jobs, built up a really nice nest egg, probably to the tune of several, I want to say maybe $3.5, $4 million.
Okay.
And my mother-in-law has never been responsible with money. My father-in-law has always been the one to handle the bills. They are debt-free, doing well financially. And when my father-in-law went to the hospital about a year ago, he decided to go ahead and give my mother-in-law access to her retirement account, thinking that he didn't have much longer. She drained it, giving it to an online scammer.
Wait,
she has been
3 to 4 million?
Well, no. There's several accounts. The one that he gave her access to was $750,000.
Okay, $750,000.
Drained, she drained that within about a week, giving it to some online scammer. We learned a lot after that incident, in that this has been going on for years.
That she's been getting scammed?
Yes. And she also has been cheating on her husband.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. Are you sure she's getting scammed, or is she willingly giving away money to boyfriends and other men?
Oh, no, she is. But we think there's some mental illness there, because there's she's involved in a one-way romantic relationship with this person she's never met. And we've done some research. She's got multiple Facebook profiles, same picture, different name, doing the same thing all over the country.
Yeah.
So she has been visited by the FBI and the police, and she still believes that what she's doing is on the up and up with this guy that she's never met.
Wow.
Would she go get evaluated so that somebody can become the financial power of attorney before she just destroys her life?
Absolutely not. She thinks that she's saner than all of us.
Okay.
Interesting.
So the conundrum that we have is that when I say we, my husband and his brother have spoken to their dad about their concerns. And we're not poor, but we're definitely not in a situation where we could provide for her for the next 20 years if she does live that long. I mean, she's in great health.
Sure.
And honestly, after finding out what I found out, I wouldn't want to take care of her. And that sounds terrible, but there's a lot of upset in the family over what she's done to him and everybody else. She's even gone to her own son and asked for money to pay bills, which she has done because my father-in-law pays all the bills. Mm-hmm. She even reverse mortgaged her car that he paid off to give this guy money.
Yeah.
And she'd run up credit card debt. So she's in her 80s, and she's got nothing in her name solely. What is left is in their name jointly. And we've asked him to make my husband or his brother executors of the estate. He says he has, but we don't have evidence.
Why
And
do you think
honestly,
he's
we don't
dragging
really-
his feet on this? Because like what you're observing, third and fourth party, obviously he's been side by side for however long they've been married. So he's known about this longer and closer up than you guys have. Why do you think that he is in denial about this? Or why, you know what I'm saying? What's stopping him?
Hey, it's George. That's right. I've been here the whole time, just creeping. Kind of like the creepy spammers and scammers out there using and selling your personal data. Not cool, guys. Not cool. And that's why you need to check out Delete Me. Delete Me will find and remove your info from all of these data broker sites to reduce the risk of spam and scam in your life. Delete Me has already removed my info from over 250 websites that don't have any business having it. And as a Ramsey fan, you'll get 20% off all of their plans, which comes out to less than $9 a month. So after this clip, go sign up and take control of your privacy at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey or click the link in the description to get the deal. All right, back to the call.
What's stopping him?
We don't know. We've had conversations, amongst ourselves about what that reason could possibly be. We're confused because he's a very intelligent man. And she is too, honestly, but not about this. Mm-hmm. And so we're confused because if he's known about this for this long, not to this extent, obviously, he's just finding out about the gravity of it.
But your biggest concern is he does nothing. He passes away and she blows through this money quickly, and now I'm going to be on the hook to take care of her, and I don't even like her like that. That's basically where you're at.
Exactly. Bingo. And side note, my husband and I'm in my late 40s. He's in his mid 50s. We're going to be debt free in the next 2 years. We've worked aggressively to get to that point, and I don't want to go into debt to take care of somebody else who is
you don't have to. And you don't have to. There's a part of this, and John, this is your territory, but there's part of this where they had their life with their choices. And there are times where when you feel the need to swoop in, or, you can swoop in, or some of us is like, yeah, I plan to take care of my parents when they go into their latter years. Like they already kind of have it in their mind, for whatever reasons, whether it's because they misbehaved with money, or even if they didn't, they just caught a lot of bad breaks and they feel like it's their need to step in and kind of help. But those are choices. It's not you must do this and it's your responsibility to do this. I think those are hard lines to draw, but I do think that that's the truth of the matter. I mean, John, what do you think about that?
Honestly, there's a couple of things here. You have to understand that there's not a lot you personally can do.
Right.
And that's heartbreaking. Your husband can, and if I was in his shoes, I would petition a court for conservatorship.
Okay, well, that was why I was calling, is to see if there's anything that we could do to prevent this catastrophe.
The only thing, what they'll do is potential, and again, you are just throwing a Hail Mary pass, hoping somebody catches it, getting the right judge on the right day, but what you would have to prove is, hey, this has continued over a series of years. My dying elderly father-in-law, or in your husband's case, my dying dad, moved money over that she gave to an online scammer. The FBI's been here. Here's all this. And she's taking out loans. Basically, she is a harm to herself. Mm-hmm. And you want to get a court. The court can order psychological testings, etc.
And you're going to have to deal with the down, the outcome of all that. That's going to be the hard part on you, is they're going to fight against this. They're going to...
He might not, but she might. But you can tell him, we're about to go to court to try to get... And he might say, oh, thank God, I don't have to do it. Like, who knows? So you're about to say something. What were you about to say?
Well, actually, to what you were just about to say yourself, that was going to be my question. What if he does not want to go that process? And I don't think that he will, because honestly, I think that there's a part of him that's very embarrassed about this. I mean, we're just finding out about this, and it's been going on to certain degrees for 60 years. So this is
it's as simple as telling him, this is going to come, you can sign this over to us and it stays with us, or this is going to become a public matter, but we have to take I have to take my mom's health into account starting now. Because here's the deal. Your husband and his brothers are faced with, do we watch our mom burn her life to the ground, or do we go down swinging? And I'm going to use, forget ego. Dad, you have one choice. You have two choices. One, this becomes public because we're going to go to court and try to get mom's conservatorship over mom's money. Or two, you sign over all of your personal finances so we can stop her from burning the house down. That's really your two choices. And I would tell my 80-year-old dad that. He gets to choose, but we're going to court because we see how this thing ends at the very end.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is one of those things where both solutions, just sitting to the side and saying, hey, this is your life, I can't make you do anything, that's tough. And the other option, which is really being very, very proactive, that's going to have its own set of challenges, and that's going to be very tough as well.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I was wondering what you thought. I'd like to take out $75,000 in student loan to get a bachelor's in construction management. But there's one caveat, which is that because I am a DACA recipient, I am not qualified for a majority of scholarships that are out there or any kind of federal assistance.
Please don't do this, Andrew. Please don't do this.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Help me, John. What's a DACA?
It's a long story, but he is not a naturalized citizen, but he's lived here his whole life, and so he's a recipient. He can go to college, go to U.S. college, but doesn't qualify for a lot of the aid packages that are reserved for citizens only.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I'm catching.
And so you want to go into construction management?
Yeah, so there's a trade school here locally that also has an online college.
Okay.
I'd basically do an electrician degree.
Yep.
And then that turns into a bachelor's in construction management.
Okay, so hear me say this. I want you to go learn how to be an electrician, and I want you to learn construction science. I desperately want that because you're going to be one of the most in-demand people in the next 5 to 10 to 25 to 50 years, okay?
That's a wonderful career field.
I do not want you to get $75,000 in the hole. Okay?
What do you do now?
Currently, I'm a graphic designer for a sign company.
Okay. And so what made you pick construction?
So, I'm 29, and for the longest time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I went on a tour of this trade school and the courses that they have available, and it just clicked. Like, it seems like something that it's with my hands, but it requires math and technical skill, which is something that I gravitate towards.
Okay.
And obviously, because I have a son and a wife, it's got to make money, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you gone down and checked out the local community college in your area that probably offers the exact same program for nothing?
There's a JC in my area that gives me the certificate for electrician, but I'd have to go to further out, like a 2-hour city, to do it to make it into anything that's higher education. And
here's just tell you, 100% of the time, you do not need a degree to be in construction management. 100% chance. What you do need is the skills to be there. One way to get the skills is to go study it, the way you're talking about studying it. Another way is be doing it on the job and learn. That's how most people in construction learn construction management. They do construction, not graphic arts. So go get a job in the construction field, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. And work your way. Get in with an electrician that'll put you in an apprentice program.
Yeah, get your free certification there.
Get in an apprentice program, become an electrician, and then move from there and start working with the GCs in the area and take on some project manager roles on some small basic stuff and let them teach you construction management. Construction management is not rocket science, okay? It's logistics and math, what you found when you were doing that. What you ran into was a trade school that had a really good salesman.
And a shiny, shiny shop.
And it made it look like this was going to be a thing. But listen, it's project management, and just in talking to you, I think you could do it almost now.
Yeah.
You're bright, okay? You're a smart guy, except for this part about biting on the $75,000 hook. I think you got a little thing stuck in your lip right there. It's a hook. And so, but no, dude, Really, go get in the construction business. I grew up in the real estate and construction business. I love it. And I think it's something that AI can't touch. So you're not going to get replaced by a stupid computer. And Chat GPT can't spell construction management.
And it can. I promise you in 10 years, they're not going to say, whoa. I know you can wire up this entire project, but we need to see that certification. No one's going to have time.
Well, you can run through an apprentice program and become a certified electrician, but you do not need a construction management degree. I'm sitting in a building that costs $60 million to build. This portion of this building goes $60 million. The guy that built this building, working for a commercial construction company, did not have a construction management degree.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, what he did was he swung a hammer and he dug ditches and he wired stuff and he did whatever and he learned project management. And you can take some project management courses and there's some basic things to learn about that everybody ought to know for that matter, because everything's a freaking project. Running a wedding is a project management thing. So, I mean, whatever it is, right? So, there's nothing bad about that. But you pick that up at the community college. Don't be hunting certifications as a silver bullet to make your life successful. Go look for skills. Skills that you can put literally, in this case, and figuratively, in your tool belt.
Can we? I want to double click on that because I think that might be one of the more profound shifts that's coming our way. Okay. And that is, we have been told for 100 years to go get certified. Go have somebody else stamp you, whether it's an outside credential, whether it's an outside. And colleges have responded to this by coming up with credentials on any number of things that have never been credentialed.
Left-handed puppetry.
Everything is credentialed, right? So I'm a certified left-handed puppet, whatever. So here's the deal. In the future that we are entering into right now, people are going to ask, can you do this thing?
Yep.
So don't go get certified in how to sit with hurting people. Go figure out ways to sit with hurting people. Don't get certified in how to fill in the blank. Go learn how to do that thing because that's going to be the new currency because their certification stuff is going to get winnowed out with the internets, with the computers. I'm convinced of that, Dave.
We've already seen the beginning. Number one, the trades have never done that.
Right.
Number two, the new version of the trade called tech. Mm-hmm. I got tech. We got 460 tech people working here.
Yep.
The number of them that have 4-year degrees in information systems is almost zero.
Right.
But the number of them have lots of certs and have gone to classes and know how to code, gone to code school. They learned the skills.
They have to learn the skills.
They learn the skills.
Right.
And I don't care what their certification is.
Right.
What I care is, can you code?
Correct.
Can you build the platform for the code to sit on? Can you create a customer interface? How fast can you do this at a Dev 1, Dev 2, or Dev 3 level?
Right.
Are you really quick or are you just slower than Christmas? I mean,
That's
I'm the employer. I'm the guy writing the check. And so I'm telling you, you don't have to have a cert.
I have a degree in salesmanship. I
crap.
don't care. Can you sell something?
Crap.
That's what's going to matter.
The only thing that means is you got sold. Doesn't mean you ever sold anything. So, yeah, that's the essence of this, Andrew.
Chase skills.
And this is coming from John, who has a PhD in higher education.
And I used to tell, don't get a PhD in leadership. Go lead something. Go ask for increased leadership responsibility so that you can get moved up the ladder in these areas and increase your influence because you know how to do the thing, not because you can wave a certificate around and say, look, somebody else says I can do this thing.
Yeah, I had a fun discussion with Jim Collins at Entree Leadership Summit last week. We were talking... maybe on stage in the interview, but certainly off stage, we talked about it too. I remember he told me the story. He was teaching entrepreneurship at Stanford, and a guy kept saying, "Yeah, but are you?"
That's a great critique. It's a great critique,
and that's what caused him to leave.
Yeah,
and go open his own for-profit research firm that led to the book Built to Last, Good to Great, Great by Choice, How the Mighty Fall, all these masterful works that are based on his masterful research that he did for profit because he decided, if I'm going to teach entrepreneurship, I probably ought to be one.
I find it no small coincidence that most of the teachers that I had that were of high influence for me, professors, were either theologians that also led small churches at the same time, or they were mental health professors that also had practices or were working in the communities doing the thing because they got to tie the practice into that knowledge, and then you get a much better the passion jumps into the students, right?
Who was it taught me to go into debt? My finance professor, who was broke. He was broke. What's wrong with a broke finance professor? That's like a shop teacher with missing fingers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You ain't one.
Right.
You ain't one until you is one, right? Oh my gosh, this is how this works. So yeah,
Chase skills.
Listen,
chase skills,
I
chase
believe in
skills.
education.
I
Being
do too.
dumb is not a plan. Okay?
I do too. I believe in going to college.
I believe in gathering up knowledge. But the silver bullet is your gathering of knowledge and the application of it in the marketplace, not the piece of paper that said you did it. If all you do is collect degrees, you're a thermometer. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Julian is up next in New York City. Julian, how can we help?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
My question right now, I am around 20 years old, or I am 20 years old in college, and I'm currently making around $20,000 to $25,000 a month. And my boss wanted to give me a pretty big bonus for basically hitting a pretty big benchmark in sales, around $1.5 million. And he wanted to give me a $50,000 bonus to put towards any gift. He didn't just want to give it to me cash, and he wanted to essentially help me buy a new car. And I'm 20, I'm in college, and realistically, financially, it wouldn't make a really big dent for me to put an extra, 10 to 20 into a car and potentially get like a $60,000 to $70,000 car. And I was wondering, if it wasn't, a stupid financial decision, do you think that would be potentially a good decision for me to make, given that I'm 20 and it wouldn't hurt me financially?
You have no debt or any debt at all?
No debt, nothing.
No
I have around
debt.
$200,000 in savings.
And you're making 20 to 25 grand a month.
Correct.
And he's going to give you 50 towards a car. And so if you buy a $50,000 car, you don't pay a nickel. If you buy a $70,000 car, you pay 20 and you've already got 200 plus in the bank. Am I hearing all this right?
Yes, exactly. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but
Well, what's your concern?
I have a concern.
Well, let's hear his first. Why'd you call us to ask us about this?
Well, I was just wondering because I think that I'm relatively mature for my age, and I guess going back to school, I'm taking a semester off, and I'm going back to school, in August in the fall, and I was just wondering, given that I've worked so hard for the last 2 years, I feel that I deserve it, and I'm excited to drive around in a nice car, not have to drive around in the Subaru. But I don't know. I guess other people kind of seeing that, I don't want to look like the kind of person who, like, my parents bought me a really nice car. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, but if I'm in your shoes, I don't give a crap what anybody thinks about the car I'm driving, especially if it was a gift. And if it were me, unless I'm missing something, the guy's going to give you $50,000 towards it. If he will not give it to you as a bonus, he's going, I'm doing it this way, then the rules are the rules. And you're busting it, you're killing it. Unless I'm missing something. But if it were me, I wouldn't get $70,000 car. I'd get a $50,000 car and not pay a nickel. I'd take the free car. I wouldn't put any extra money into that. But let me also say, if you've been listening to this program, Dave talks about the ratio. Jade can break that down when we talk about ratio to what you make. So for you to spend 20 on top of the 50 based on what you make and what you've got in the bank, it's a no-brainer. So if your concern is I'm worried about what others are going to say because I'm young and I'm driving a nice car around, first of all, I don't give a crap what they think. And secondly, you've got a legitimate story. You're not a trust fund baby. There's nothing for you to be ashamed of. You've worked really hard to get to this point where you're making incredible money, young man. You've been frugal. You have no debt. Man, I'd say enjoy this bonus.
I have a question, though. I have a couple questions. You mentioned going back to school. What does that mean for your income when you go back to school?
Well, surprisingly, I've actually been able to balance this pretty well with school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to finish getting the degree. I think that it's valuable, and my parents are, I'm very thankful they're paying for it.
So you're doing this while in school, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, he's making this money while in school.
When you said going back to school in August, it made it seem like you were gone for a while or hadn't finished.
I may take a bit of a pay cut, but realistically, I'll still be able to make a pretty decent amount.
Yeah, you're crushing it.
That's crazy. Listen, you're 20 years old. I want to know, what do you sell? Can you tell us?
Yeah, so I work with influencers online who have very big audiences, like anywhere from 200,000 to 1 million followers online, and I basically help sell and market products to those to basically their audience, whether it's real estate or make money online coaching, anything like that. Fitness coaching.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
market. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer.
That's excellent.
This is a no-brainer.
Get the car. Hey, how much of your own money are you going to add with it, or are you just going to take the $50,000 and get a $50,000 car?
I'm thinking if I decide to get a car, I'll just get the car I really want, and if that ends up being 70, I'll put an extra 20. If it ends up being 50, I'll
That's
just
great.
stick with 50.
Fantastic.
Love it.
Just be smart.
That's great.
Just
and
be
who cares
smart.
what other haters think? They're drinking on that haterade.
Yeah.
You worked hard for this.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love that story. You don't get that call very often. That's why I ask all the questions. Want to make
Listen.
sure I got all the facts. But that one's pretty straightforward. Way to go, young man.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Dave, when I saw this article, I said, okay, I got to show this to Dave. I read it. It says nearly half of young adults in the U.S. are living at home with their parents, and all that saved money on rent is fueling a luxury boom. It says a record number of young adults in the U.S. are currently living at home, and all that saved money is sparking a luxury boom. That's unbelievable to me, because if you read down in the article, it says 48% of these young adults are living with their parents. This is in 2022. So this is not like from 2020, right? We know that people kind of hold up together because of the pandemic in 2020, but it's still taking place. And it says that it's because they have all of this extra money, and instead of paying off, I don't know, their debt.
This is a historical high since the Great Depression.
Yeah, these numbers have not been seen since the Great Depression.
48%. So let me get this straight. You live in your mama's basement, but you got a Coach purse.
You got a Coach purse. And these companies that are, they make Tiffany and Dior and Hennessy and all these luxury brands, they saw a 20% spike above, and they're attributing it to
baby
this.
children.
From baby children. And at first, Dave, I'll be honest, when I first read this, my my anger and my frustration was at the young adult. But then I thought about it. I thought about it more, and I said, no.
This is a helicopter mama got out of control. Helicopter daddy got out of control.
Helicopter mom. This is also, it's a result in my mind.
I can just hear the prop.
It's three things. It's the parenting, right? We've sent that message that basically we're going to do everything for you.
This is not parenting. This is coddling.
We've coddled the confidence right out of these people.
Woo!
We've coddled it right out.
That's tweetable.
Think about it. When you've got parents who say, I don't trust that you can do this. I don't trust that you can make it out there on your own. I don't trust that you can use your God-given intellect and skill to earn money and pay rent. Why don't you come back and live here? And oh, by the way, when you live here, we'll cook your meals, we'll pay your rent. If you need a little gas for money, we'll give you that too. Then, Dave, you've got the government saying, hey, you can't pay for your student loans. We'll do it for you. And then you've got this mixture of then now social culture telling you everything you say is right, everything you think is right. You can do no wrong. Now tell me, Dave, how does that create an adult who can go in and function in society?
What this is creating is, for the particular young people that are falling prey for it, is what's known as a train wreck.
It's a train wreck.
You described a train wreck, because here's what's going to happen. You cannot avoid life.
You can't.
It's coming for your butt.
Well, that's what's happened.
And mama can't protect you. And Biden can't protect you.
Nope.
And your opinion doesn't matter until you've got actual experience to base that opinion on.
That's right. But the world has told you that everything you think is right.
I really don't care what your opinion is.
I know that's right. And they're getting out into the world and they're going, wait a minute, this is different.
Well, the problem is when they do get in the world, and they will. They're going to run into reality, which reality says, truthfully, reality says you are not an expert on something just because you breathe air. Your opinion is not valid.
That's right.
Unless it is based on some kind of facts. That were based on, not feelings.
That's right.
But you've been told that your feelings are all valid, and they are valid feelings.
Yeah.
But anybody that leads their life by feelings is known as a child. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good.
I know that's right.
Here's who we need to rant at, and you're exactly right. Rachel Cruz said this 10 years ago or 15 years ago the first time. We don't have a student loan crisis. We have a parenting crisis.
It's parenting. And I say it all the time. You can't absorb everything for your kids. Now, I've got young kids, Dave. I got 2-year-old and 4-year-old.
You send them to the salt mines every morning.
No.
Go to work.
Let me tell you.
You 2-year-old, go to work.
You got to let them feel it. Pick
up your toys.
It's very easy to want to step in and not let them fail, not let them feel disappointment, not let them feel hurt. You got to let them feel it.
Here's the problem. When you're a parent that you think you are doing your child a favor by making it easy for them, you're actually making it harder for them because you're stupid.
Well, you're sending a message.
You're so stupid that you think that they're not going to have to learn the lesson. They have to learn the lesson. So you're better off to learn the lesson while at home and 15 years old and feel the pain of calluses on your hand. Feel the pain of actual discipline and responsibility at a reasonable level where I can protect you from it being crushing pain.
That's right.
As your dad. But I'm going to make sure that you feel the abrasion so that when you feel real abrasion later, real adversity later, you've got the freaking character to stand in the wind.
And the resilience. Because if you don't allow that, you're sending that message, I don't have confidence in you. And there's an undercurrent that the child feels that, okay, I can't do this. So then when they do get out in the world and all those things happen, they don't know how to be resilient. They don't know how to handle it because they have not had to build that level of confidence and, like you said, character. And it's just, I gave this example the other day. I was talking about my kid and, he wants to help me set the table at night. And look, he's 4 years old. He's not going to do it right. He's going to put the stuff on the edge of the table, probably going to knock the glass off. It's going to break, all these things. And it's a great opportunity for me to step in and go, you know what, I'll just do it. I'll put it like this. I know how to do it. But if I do that, I'm telling him, I don't have confidence in you to either do it right. And I certainly don't have confidence in you to make a mistake and learn from it.
There's no dignity.
There's no dignity there.
When you are coddled.
You got to let him do it.
There is no dignity when you have no autonomy because you have absolutely no actual skills.
That's right.
And by the way, managing your social media account is not a skill. Okay? That you don't qualify for that one, okay?
That one doesn't count.
You don't get making comments on other people's actual achievements is not a skill.
Yeah.
That's not an achievement. You didn't achieve anything when you did that.
Yeah.
And so when you live in your mother's basement and you write a blog on personal finance, the rest of the world laughs at you and your mommy thinks you're cute.
So a message to these young adults living at home, you've been enabled. We're telling you, you've been enabled. You have been coddled. You have been put in a situation that is not for your best interest.
Ooh.
Now it is time for you to do something to change that. It's time for you to get up. It's time for you to get out. The problem is not, I can't afford rent. That is a symptom. The problem is you've got debt, you're not earning enough money, and you're not doing enough to go out and change it. Mom and dad can't do this for you.
Well,
and don't blame it on the fact that folks are getting married later in life.
No, that's absolutely
because that's a whole other thing.
No, it's not. Look, work more, go to the bar less. Was that okay?
That's it.
Because you took your beer pong skills from college and you brought them home to your 23-year-old self and you converted them to happy hour skills.
Yeah.
And so we live from thank God it's Friday to oh God it's Monday, and this is the recipe for freaking failure.
Yep.
So if you're a young person listening to us, we are not picking on you.
No.
We are begging you to get away from your parents. They're stupid.
They did you wrong. And parents, if you're listening, in the new year, it's time for you to serve a notice. That's the gift.
Yep.
The gift that they need to open up is a pink slip.
Yep. You got till March. You got till June.
Yep.
No more than June. June's max. But give them an exit ramp, give them an on ramp, give them an off ramp, whatever you want to call it. But let's lay out a game plan, coach them, help them,
and that's
show them what to do. And let me just tell you, an eagle that does not leave the nest is eventually known as a turkey. They are useless. You do not want to be 38 and living in your mother's basement. By the way, young men, no woman wants to date you because you're what's known as a wuss. You are not eligible.
You are not eligible.
You look like a parasite. You do not look like a person who can carry half of a relationship.
Oh my goodness. My daughter, I wish my daughter would bring home a dude that's living in his parents' basement.
Uh-oh, Big Sam be lighting that guy up. Big Sam be on that guy.
Big Mama would be lighting that guy up.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Sam would be in the background cheering her on. That's
He
what it was.
He would be.
All right. Hey, seriously, folks, love your children well enough to cause them to grow up.
That's right.
And out.